56 points in a playoff game. Jordan did it twice. Look at Donovan Mitchell there, too. Shout out to Donovan.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that Donovan.
No, we haven't seen that Donovan in quite some
back.
time. Barkley also had some monster playoff games. People forget how great he was, particularly in Phoenix. But, okay. Listen, spoiler alert, Club Superstar coming out next week.
Yeah.
Jimmy's got to be in there. Jimmy's got to be in there.
I like it.
Draymond, one of his best quotes, 82-game player, 16-game player. Jimmy Butler is, come the postseason, one of the 10 best guys in the league every year.
Yeah.
And he is just a different guy than he is in the regular season. In the Miami Heat, can we show you his big games? So, in the regular season, occasionally goes for 35, never goes for 40. This is his 7th 40-point playoff game with the Miami Heat. He took them to a finals. He took them to a Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals he scored 47 in Game 6 on the road last year in Boston to force that. And now he's doing this to the 1 seed. And so, yeah, listen, I have some real issues with Coach Bud, as I know you want to get into. This was why I said Miami was dangerous, because Spo, I believe, is the best coach in basketball. He's certainly one of the 3 best. And Jimmy can go toe-to-toe with anybody. Jimmy Butler's going to have – let's just assume he doesn't win a title. I really wonder who the folks who do stuff like this in 20, 30 years, when they look back on this era, who they're going to remember more fondly. Jimmy Butler or James Harden? One guy who is an all-time regular season guy. If they neither win a title, or a guy, I think you're right, but I feel like guys who watched him will be like, man, that was a bad man, and that's why Miami's so scary, bro.
Well, look, 36 points a game, 62% shooting in this series against a team that will likely, I know Giannis was out the first 3 games, but Drew Holiday and Brook Lopez will probably both be on the All-NBA defensive team, first or second team. And he's destroying them. Last year, he averaged 27 in the playoffs and getting them to the conference finals. Remember, obviously, he led a team to the finals in the bubble and went head-to-head with LeBron.
Yes.
And gave him everything he wanted, averaged 26 in that series. I'm going to take it a step further, Nick.
Oh.
And I've just begun thinking about this as playoff Jimmy has, it's just become, it is a legit thing. You don't think of Hall of Fame when you think of Jimmy Butler. And I'm not saying definite, but now I do think you start to think about him in those ways. Maybe he has to do a little more, but I think he is beginning to put that in our minds. And look at this graphic right here. This is Reggie Miller, who's a Hall of Famer.
Well,
I'm just Reggie Miller.
Pick out the worst.
No, Reggie Miller was one of the top 75 players.
You didn't have to pick out the worst of the 75.
So, and I'm not saying Butler. He's not top 75. But Butler's got more All-Star games, more All-NBA teams, more 20-point per game seasons, more all-defense. That should be 0, I believe, for Reggie Miller, all-defense. That should be 0.
Yeah.
The same finals appearances, and Jimmy's done it in 12 seasons where Reggie had 18. So, and Reggie, I say this about Reggie. Reggie became a legend because of his clutch moments,
that's right.
particularly in the postseasons, regular season too. But he had some incredible postseason moments in the clutch. That's what Jimmy Butler's doing. That's what you look at Reggie's regular season numbers, they're not like awe-inspiring.
No.
So I'm just
18,
saying
3 and 3 for
we have to begin thinking this guy might be, and I've never really thought of him that way.
Yeah, I agree. Well, the only thing Brew didn't say there that I thought he would say is, and by the way, Nick was obviously right about the Heat, saying that they were scary, saying everyone should avoid them.
Nick texted the Bucks.
He texted us last night. Oh!
Yeah.
Right. I don't know why
I
you
did
why
pick
you
the
why
Bucks,
your
and by the way,
chest
I might still pick the Bucks, but you were laughing at me because they lost the game to the Hawks. Brew, America.
I don't remember laughing.
Oh my goodness!
What I remember is you picking the Bucks like the rest of them.
Okay.
So,
and then
so
he's
take
on
it,
text
put your
making fun
chest
of us.
back in.
Okay.
All right,
Put your chest in. Put it back in. All right, Heat offense, regular season versus the playoffs. And the Bucks are a good defensive team.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach Bud.
Here we go.
This team is missing Tyler Hero. So I'm going to get up here. And also, can we run the graphic?
Oh, wow.
Run the graphic on Jimmy Butler, what he's doing to you. Put on me.
Went to
Put me
the
on
whiteboard or something?
Coach Bud. Hey, it's an 11-0 run. Call a timeout, buddy. Call a timeout. Giannis is calling a timeout, and he doesn't have the ball, and it's a turnover. Call a timeout. And guess what? He's the only one scoring. He's the only one scoring, and they can't stop him. It can't stop him. He's the only one scoring, bro.
Yeah. No, look, maybe a double team.
Oh, I know.
I think they double teamed him 4 times.
That's a good idea.
I heard it was 4 times.
They're up 12 with 6 minutes left in a must-win game. At 4:42, so less than 90 seconds, it was down to 5. That's the time for the timeout.
Okay, well,
and then, by the way, even after the onslaught, Wilds, Drew Holiday hit a 3. Brook Lopez got a lob dunk, whatever it was. The Bucks were up 2 with 90 seconds left. At that point, I'm sorry. If Caleb Martin beat you, Caleb Martin beat you.
Yes.
But you've got to send doubles at the guy who's breathing fire out of his eyeballs. Like
they got 4. I've told 4 undrafted players in their rotation. Make one of them, and they might.
Somebody might. 7
but make them
players.
beat you.
They're starting Kevin Love, who the Cavs bought out.
What did the Warriors do the other night? They made Harrison, anybody but De'Aaron Fox.
That's exactly right.
How about anybody but Jimmy Butler? Come on.
You think?
Yeah.
Coach Bud, be careful.
Yeah.
Be careful, my friend.
Wilds. Frank Vogel won a title. He got fired.
Yeah.
Nick Nurse
Wilds
is
gone. Is trying to fire Coach Bud.
I'm just saying, I'd be a little bit nervous. Yeah. Very nervous. Series goes back to Milwaukee for Game 5, then to Miami on Friday, if necessary. Yikes. Scary stat, 95% of teams up 3-1 win the series, but I'm kind of throwing that in the dumpster, bro, because those teams are usually better. It's not usually an 8-1, and they usually are not missing the world's greatest player. So are you giving the Bucks any chance to come back?
A chance. I'm not saying this is over. You put a gun to my head and say pick a team, I'm picking Miami.
Really?
If you force me like your life depends on this pick, I would go with Miami at this point. But I give the Bucks a strong chance, not just anything can happen. I give them a solid chance. Percentage?
37. 51.
42.
42. Okay.
42%.
Here's what I'm very confident in. The Bucks are winning Game 5.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm very confident in that. And Jimmy in his history. My good pal Adam Lefko texts me this stat that Jimmy post 35-point games in the playoffs with Miami, 1-6, averaging 22 a game in the following games. So I would expect him to drop down. And then you have Game 6 back in Miami, where they're going to have nothing but confidence. This to me is a sneaky Giannis legacy moment in this regard. We talk about Giannis like, if he wins the title this year, could we start to cobble together here's what the path to being a top 5 all-time player looks like? Agreed? Right? If he were to win the title this year.
10. I'm not ready to go 5.
If he wins the title, no. If he wins the title this year, he has an argument he might already be one of the 12 or 13 greatest ever. And I think if he wins the title this year, everyone will assume he's going to be top 10 at a minimum. But if he wins the title this year, it's like, okay, 2 titles in this span, the Defensive Player of the Year, the MVPs, the numbers, how high can he go? Really important not to lose as a 1 versus an 8.
Yeah.
And I understand he missed those first few games, but they didn't fall down 0-3 without him. They fell down 2-1, and yesterday they should have won. And I believe he's the best player in the world by a wide margin. Tough to hold that if they end up, getting beaten 5 by Miami in round 1.
Okay. Best player, but he does have some deficiencies.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.